All right, guys, it's time for happy hour. I am stoked to mark the end of Thursday because that means it's almost Friday and that means it's almost the weekend. For those of you who've been here before, you know the drill. Let us know in the comments where you're located, what are you drinking, and put 3 stars if it's your first time. We want to shout you out. In the meantime, enjoy the tunes. We're going to give folks some time to get in the room and join us for happy hour. Upside down, I'm about to show all you folks what it's all about. Now it's time for us to get on the mic and make this motherfucking party hot. I'm taking it back to the old school. All right, who's enjoying these tunes, these old school tunes, guys? Man, I miss good music like this. What's up, Ken and Crowley? Drinking Toomey Pinot. Hi, Ann. Canyon Lake, drinking bourbon and diet. Man, I could go for some bourbon. I haven't had bourbon in a hot minute. Veronica, Chicago is here in the house. I love it. I love seeing our Chicago fans. Veronica, I need you to let me know, are you a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan? Dirk and Tina, good to see your name too. Lisa, it looks like Anthony's been teaching me dance moves. Is that the Anthony? Just like back and forth, back and forth. You know, like you got a little box and you just move a little bit to each side. Oh no, if this was a real dance floor, guys, I get out of control. I had a reputation in college. But you know, I'm sitting in a chair, so maybe I need to stand up and get dancing. Morgan is here again, drinking Ramona. I love that. It's a crushable wine. Alta, cheers from Frisco. You guys know the drill. Hop in the comments. Let us know where you are and what you're drinking. We're waiting for some folks to get in the room. Happy hour, guys. It is the end of Thursday, April 23rd. Cheers. Kate's got a grapefruit bourbon cocktail in Pflugerville today. Man, you can send some of that over here to West Austin if you want. Lisa, I will stand up and dance if I so choose, okay? You cannot control my dancing from the comment section. I love you. Mary, drinking the 17 Touriga. Cheers to that. We're going to be talking about that today, and I've got a fun surprise. All right, guys, it's 5:03. This song is about to end, and I think it's time for us to get started for today's show. I just don't want this to end, though. Whoop, there it is. Okay, guys. For real, I could do that all day long. I've got some special guests here today that I want to introduce as you guys are hopping in. But first, I see a first timer. Everybody say hi to Nancy. And I can't say that last name. Thongenq in Pahrump, Nevada. Welcome, Nancy, everybody. Everybody say hi to Nancy. First timer. I love seeing that. We're so glad you're with us. Hopefully it will be the first of many times that we get to hang out with you in happy hour. Alan, I see you, my Canadian buddy. Let's introduce a few of our special guests today. First up, we are going all the way up to, I think you guys are in North Texas. Let me know. Tony and Madonna Phillips, everybody welcome these beautiful people. Tell us where you are and what are you drinking?
We're in Brownfield, Texas, and we're drinking Touriga National from William Chris.
Cheers, guys. Is it also the 2017?
Cheers. 2017. Yes, it is.
I love it, guys. If you didn't notice, Tony and Madonna's last name is the same last name as what's right here on this beautiful bottle that we're going to be talking about today. You see what it says Phillips Vineyard? You see their name, Tony and Madonna Phillips? Maybe you've connected the dots already. If not, we're going to give you a few more minutes to do that. We're going to bring up our other special guest. And we've got another Tony.
Hey.
Say hi. Tell us where you are and what you're drinking.
Hey, guys. My name is Tony. Let me flip that back up. My name is Tony Schlotzauer. I am in Austin, Texas. Backed up to the beautiful green belt here. Loving my patio out here on my place. I am drinking a Palio Quericio from Domaine Glinavos, and that is in the Ioannina region in Epirus. So it's a semi-sparkling orange wine from Debina grapes in northwestern Greece.
So let me restate that to make sure everybody heard you right. Did you just say this is a semi-sparkling orange wine from Greece?
Correct. Just for the wine nerds, right?
I was gonna say, I feel like you strung together every like wine nerd / like som nerd term in one. It's probably also a natty wine, you know. Just we gotta add all the other hipster terms on there. But man, I've had that wine. I'm giving Tony a hard time, but I freaking love that wine. It's delicious, and it comes in that crazy little 500 ml bottle. Show the bottle one more time, Tony. Guys, this is such a weird shaped bottle. Semi-sparkling Greek orange wine for the win today. All right, we're going to bring Tony back up. He's going to be our special guest today. He's going to be teaching us for the wine nerd section. But first, let me say hi to a few more folks in the comments. PJ from Lubbock, good to see you. Lynn from San Antonio. Anthony says the mountains on his can are blue. I know what that means. You should know what that means. That is the right cold beer to be drinking today. Catherine Brundrett says hi to the Phillips. They'll get a chance to come back on. Cheryl's in South Austin with the Touriga Nacional from Robert Clay in 16. So another good Touriga wine that we make. All right, guys, it is time to bring up these wonderful people as we introduce today's wine. So I'm going to bring Tony and Madonna back up here. I'm actually going to see if I can shrink myself. Maybe even take.
Ooh.
We can't
Tony
hear
and
you.
Oh, well, guys, it doesn't
There
help
you
if I like
go.
mute myself. So, guys, Tony and Madonna are incredible people, first of all. Second of all, incredible farmers, and they are growing beautiful grapes. Today, I am drinking, let's see if I can get this label centered here. I am drinking Touriga Nacional from Phillips Vineyard in the Texas High Plains from the 2017 vintage. This is a wine that, for me, on the nose, is almost floral in nature. You know, I get a little bit of probably red fruits on this. Yep. On the palate, I get probably both red and blue fruits. For me, there's a lot of blueberry in this wine, maybe some raspberry as well. This did spend quite a bit of time in oak, but mostly neutral. So there's not a ton of like oak influence. There's not a ton of like over the top baking spice or over the top vanilla. I really feel like the fruit is allowed to speak up, have the platform, and show off for us in this time, which means it's actually showing a lot of what you guys do in the vineyard to grow this. There's not a lot of what's going on in the cellar that necessarily covers it up. So we get to express what the Phillips Vineyard and this grape do together in that year 2017. So that's a lot of me talking about this wine. I have you guys on so you can chat. I want to hear from you guys. First of all, tell us about where your vineyard is located so folks can get a little bit of a concept of where you guys are and where you're farming.
We're located 2 miles south of Brownfield. The soil is a red sandy loam over cleachy layer of about 3 to 5 feet deep. It's a good rich soil, and it does well in bringing out the terroir and the flavors of the wine. That it's a very productive, and we have to be careful not to overwater and produce a grape that is somewhat peppery in flavor.
So for the folks out here that might not have heard the term productive before, you're talking about like these soils make the plants really happy, right? And they love, when they're really happy, they love to grow all of the green parts of their vines and stuff like that. Tell us a little more. When you say productive, what are you talking about?
Go ahead.
Well, for Touriga, that's the one that I call the beast. It grows very vigorously, and we have to be very careful with our irrigation program and our nutrient program to make sure that we don't go over the top, you know. So it's just very beasty. It's hard to handle. It's You just, it takes a lot of hands-on care for this one, which all the vines do, but this one it more so takes a lot more care than the others, just because of the nature of which it grows, and it's just
it's good at
really
what it
likes
does, right?
We have to be
Yes.
very careful with the canopy. The canopy
Yes.
can get out of control with this grape.
Mhm.
And we learned the hard way the first year or two, but we've reined that back in, and we've been able to control it, and it's produced some outstanding grapes, I believe.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I feel like, you know, that's part of both growing wine and making wine, like a learning process. You're constantly understanding, like, what does the grape give you? What are the vines giving you? How do you interact with them? And I think one of the things I'm so in love with about wine is it's this interaction between nature and man, right? Like grapes don't happen to do what they do and hop into a bottle and into my glass by themselves. Like, this is very much a dance, a marriage between man and nature. And so I love that you guys have kind of illustrated that. What I know, you guys grow some other grapes. What else are you growing at the Phillips Vineyard?
We grow Sangiovese that William Chris also gets to do very well with that as well. Muscat Blanc, Roussanne, Cinsault, Graciano, Mourvedre, and Chenin Blanc. And going back to you have to treat each variety different. It all acts different. Some requires much less to control the growth and what you want to do with the grape.
I love that. I think that's right on. And I don't know, I'm so excited that you guys are growing things like Touriga in your vineyard, so that we can share grapes like Touriga and wines like Touriga Nacional that end up in folks' glass in Texas, because, you know, Touriga doesn't have this giant reputation that a lot of people know about, you know, like Cab Sauv or Chardonnay or Pinot Noir or something like that. And so it's really a joy for us to be able to share this grape and the hard work that you guys put in to grow beautiful fruit, for us to be able to make this wine. So thank you for everything that you're doing for us. I know we get a lot of grapes from you guys. We love working with you guys. This past harvest, I finally got to go up to the High Plains and visit their vineyard. It was just a joy. It's a beautiful, beautiful vineyard. If you're ever up in the High Plains, I'm sure you can bug Tony and Madonna. Phillips Vineyard has a Facebook page. I'm sure that they would love to see your smiling face up near Brownfield. So guys, I'm going to let you go. We'll bring you back up towards the end of the episode. I just want to say thanks again for growing beautiful grapes that are making this delicious wine we're all getting to drink. So cheers to you guys. Happy hour.
Thank you. Cheers to you.
Cheers to William Chris. Y'all do a great job. And Dee, you did a great job with the intro. You read it just like I wrote it.
I love it. I appreciate that endorsement. That's all I needed, Tony. I love it, guys. So you got to hear from some of our farmers, guys. That is a huge part of the William Chris story. We want you to know, if you don't already know that, we really do believe that great wine starts in the vineyard and is really about letting the wine express the fruit and the terroir, the place that it's grown, and that year, that vintage. So this is a snapshot of what 2017 in the Phillips Vineyard should taste like, in your glass, in your mouth, for you to enjoy. So cheers to Tony and Madonna. Big fans of theirs. If you ever get to meet them in person, they're like also the kindest, gentlest people ever. I just want to hug them and be friends with them. So guys, it's time for the Wine Nerd section for today. And I have lined up a buddy of mine in the Texas and Austin specifically wine industry. So I'm going to bring Tony the Greek, and let's see if I can pronounce this German amazing last name. Is it Schlotzauer?
That's really good, man. Yeah.
Hey, I got it, man.
I could not have said it better myself.
Well, I got a little practice. I grew up here in Central Texas, in Austin specifically, and took German from 7th grade all the way through high school. So I've got a little bit of that conversational German left around, and it makes it easy when you have a great German last name. Tony, I'm gonna give you a little bit of an introduction, but then I kind of want to hear from you. Guys, Tony most recently was working as a sommelier at Jeffries. I know he also has a background working in wine distribution and wine sales. I also know, and this is going to be part of what he shares today, that he has actually worked at wineries in different parts of the world. So he's got just a an incredible plethora of experience and knowledge that he brings to the table, and is going to be talking to us about a region that I don't even know a ton about. So I'm going to learn a ton today. But I also know, Tony, that you had a profession that a lot of people love to talk about, and that I think a service-oriented profession that you did before wine. But I'm not going to steal your thunder here. I would love to know from you, Tony. First of all, where are you from? What's a little bit of background? How did you get to Central Texas?
I was born and raised in Southern California. Born in LA, raised in Orange County, Huntington Beach area, a little town called Fountain Valley. If anybody's heard of that. So we're off the 405 freeway. Cool little place to grow up. I loved it there. 75 degrees every day, and it's great. Moved out. And as you mentioned before, I spent a lot of time doing all kinds of different things, including, as you can see on the little
I was like,
teaser
getting
there,
ready for it.
Yeah, man. I was a firefighter for in between my my restaurant jobs. I was a firefighter for 7 years in Manhattan Beach for a little while, and a short time in LA County. I left that in 2009, went back to the restaurant business, and had to figure out a way to supplement my income and make it oh man.
Guys,
Doug,
I might
I
have secretly and behind his back found an old picture of Tony as a firefighter. Guys, check that out. Sorry, Tony, had to do it. I worked behind the scenes to find this photo, but I'm super appreciative of that part of your story, and it's always fun to see a throwback picture, guys.
It's 15 years ago. You would never know that's me, but you can tell by I don't think anybody would use that last name on their chest, but
it's a very long name tag, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I could have used like a back along the back would probably been better.
I love that. Okay, so the voyage, I kind of cut you off there, but the voyage from California to Texas, when did that happen?
2000 and so I came in 2016, January of 2016. I got my certified sommelier from the CMS in December of 2015, and then I came out here January 2016. I started working at Jeffrey's probably a week later, and been there ever since, and took a little brief stint into the distribution world for about 8 months, and then I came back. So and then obviously all this happens. So
yeah, man. Well, I'm thankful that you're able to spend time with us today. Let's hop into the content. Today, guys, we had originally planned for you to learn from Tony about an emerging wine region that he has some experience with. So I'm actually going to share a map. Tony, I'm going to let you take this away for a sec, just to describe, like, where is this region? First of all, what is its name? Where is it located? And like, how did you get connected to it?
Okay, so obviously Australia has a lot fewer states than the United States, obviously. So it is in Victoria, which is just east of South Australia, which is where Barossa Valley is, which that's where most people know. You guys probably heard of the Shiraz from Barossa Valley, McLaren Vale, all that stuff. That's South Australia. If you just travel east of there, you're in Victoria. Now, Victoria is where Melbourne is. You can see Melbourne's right there. And it kind of is located in Port Phillip Bay right there. And if you go to the west, it takes you to Geelong. And then if you go to the east, there's a little hook there. And that's Mornington Peninsula. It's that little dark pink area right there with a little hook that goes inside Port Phillip Bay right there. And so it gets a maritime climate. It's got, which is weird. It's kind of like Bordeaux climate with Burgundy soils. So they tend to grow a lot of Burgundian style wines, especially because it's actually the coolest region in Australia besides Tasmania. Tasmania is obviously further south than that, as you can see, but it gets really, really cool. It's in the harvest period of the year. It's about 68 degrees on average, so it's pretty cool there for Australia.
So Tony, I'm gonna jump in right there. You're talking about it being really cool. Like everybody always talks about Australia being hot, and we always see like the deserts and the fires and everything. Like, why is it cold there? What's causing that?
I mean, it's a little further south than most, and it's also got a lot of ocean influence. So it kind of tempers everything. It's got the Port Phillip Bay right there. And then you have the Bass Strait that goes right below that, and so it gets a lot of cool weather. And it's a little bit further south than a lot of the wine regions there. And so they grow a lot of Burgundian varietals, like I said. So people there love Burgundy, so they grow a lot of Chardonnay, a lot of Pinot Noir, and a bit of Pinot Gris as well. And there's a little bit of Tempranillo as well. They're starting to come in and some Riesling, but mostly the Burgundian varietals, which are Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, of course.
So basically, you're telling me that if I have expensive taste in wine, that's why I should care about Mornington Peninsula, because Burgundy wines are quite pricey these days, and if I want to drink good Pinot and Chardonnay without making tons and tons and millions of dollars and spending thousands of dollars on bottles of wine, I might look towards the Mornington Peninsula as like a great alternative for those same types of wines.
Sure. And it's really high quality, akin to Chablis. They like to grow a lot of Chablisian style. They don't do a ton of, if you go to Western Australia, you get a lot of malolactic fermentation, which gives it that like buttery popcorn kind of thing going on. And they don't use a ton of new oak as well. So it's more kind of the essence of Chardonnay, which is not what most people think it is. It kind of takes on what you do to it. So it's a chameleon is what we like to call it. So they like to kind of go into the Chablisian style of wine. So I
love that.
And I got to work out there in Mornington Peninsula, and it was beautiful, amazing, a lot of work. But if anybody's done any work during vintage, but it was really a great experience.
Yeah. So the producer that you worked with when you were working harvest, also making those same Burgundian varieties, so working with Pinot Noir and Chardonnay.
Exactly. I met them actually at Jeffrey's. It was New Year's 2017, and they came out from Australia and sat with me in New Year's and told me they wanted me to come out. Karen and Martin Spedding, little shout out to them, at a winery called 10 Minutes by Tractor. Now, there's only a few Mornington Peninsula wines, much less Victoria wines in our market out here. A lot of people don't see them. You'll see Moraduk is a big one, but yeah, there's very few wines. Elderton Estate is another one, so there's a lot of cool stuff coming from there. And 10 Minutes by Tractor, I wish we had it in our market, but we don't. But if you get a chance to get them, grab them. But they're okay. So
I love that, man. And so maybe in a sec, when you get a chance, you'll be able to drop into the comments some of those producers, just so folks can keep an eye out for those. Like, I know that I love lighter style wines like Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, especially ones that are more fruit driven. I think about this Touriga that I'm drinking way too much of right now. And, even though it was oaked for a while, was still almost exclusively neutral oak and doesn't show a ton of that oak flavor and profile. And like the fruit really shows through. And I really love winemakers who are doing that. So if they're in that style, I mean, that's a place that I need to go check out and try to find wines from the Mornington Peninsula.
It's amazing.
Yep. So before I take you off and we head into this next round of the episode, I wanted to see if anybody else had questions. So let me take a quick look. Trace has a really important question here. He says, now, which AVA is Crocodile Dundee from? And don't say the AVA where they don't end sentences and propositions. Well, Trace, you called yourself out there, bro. Appreciate you ending a question with a proposition. Okay, no, I don't know. Do you actually know the answer to that? I don't remember exactly where Crocodile Dundee was from.
I'm going to guess the Northern Territory where they don't make wine. So, yeah. Dry farmed for sure. If they grow a lot of sandy soils out there, man.
Yeah, no kidding. Trace, we always appreciate your humor, your interesting sense of humor. Always brings the spice. Okay, this was actually where I was headed next. I need you to talk to me about what the heck is on the screen right now.
That's my best customer. Drinks all my wine. This is Benny Blanco from the Bronx. This is he's tired. he's the newest addition to my family here. Me and Morgan Perry, if you saw her yesterday, we went down to San Antonio and picked up this little gem, and he is an angel, and we love him, and he's our newest addition. He's awesome. So
I just I can't handle this. I feel like every day somebody else is bringing on a stinking dog to my happy hour show, driving me crazy. You guys already know I have puppy fever. I know I saw somebody asking, I think it was Paul, who was our guest yesterday, was asking if I adopted a puppy today. No, even if I wanted to, guys, I couldn't have. I've had quite the adventurous day. I accidentally put my arm through a closed window. Yeah, you can imagine how well that went, guys. Luckily, I'm here and not in the ER. Okay, guys, it is time for what is, I think, the most fun part of this entire program. We play a game called This or That. So I am going to pull up all of us on screen because we're all going to be expected to talk about this, especially because you guys are my guests. But I'm actually going to write this. First of all, we're going to start with movies. And I don't know why I was in why I was in the Christmas mood earlier today. Maybe it was because Morgan was trying to play Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas yesterday when I made her choose between Mariah and Whitney. But I was thinking about two very well-known, very well-liked Christmas movies for our first This or That. So if you're joining us for the first time, you can only choose one. This or that. Okay, this is not this and that, it's this or that. Okay, so round one, it's in your comments. I want to hear from all of our fans out there. No, Tina, I didn't have too much wine. It was 10 o'clock in the morning and I put my arm through a window. I don't want to talk about it, it's embarrassing. Luckily I only have 3 little scratches. Okay, guys, this or that, round one. Die Hard. I'm gonna take you off so you have a chance to think about this for a sec, and I can introduce it and we can take a glass of wine. I need to know, Die Hard, yes, it's a Christmas movie, so I don't want to hear it, or Family Vacation. Die Hard or Family Vacation. All right, guys, I know this is going to be hard for many of you. These are both well-liked, well-loved, well-followed, watched many times over, probably by a lot of people. Guys, happy hour. Let's all take a drink. Cheers, whoever you're hanging out with, or maybe the screen. You can cheers me while you are hopping into the comments and letting me know, Die Hard or Family Vacation. Woo! And I think I'm going to have to go to Tony and Madonna first. Guys, I'm coming for you. I hope you're ready to answer this question. All right, guys. Die Hard or Family Vacation? What's it going to be?
We're going to disagree on this. Die Hard.
No, Family Vacation.
Okay, guys.
We tend to sometimes resemble the Griswold family. So, Family Vacation. Our kids are on this watching, so you can ask them.
Well, hey, Phillips
resembles Bruce Willis.
Oh, okay. So this is a Tony. Tony sees himself as Bruce Willis. Madonna sees the family as more like the Griswold family. I'm gonna need the Phillips children who are tuned in today to pipe up in the comments and share some information. Guys, we got to know more about this. Tony, why do you love Die Hard? I got to hear it. Why Die Hard?
It's a great action movie. I mean, he saves the day. I mean, how better can it get?
So does Clark Griswold.
Well, it's kind of true. It's kind of true. Okay, so we have a house divided there. I'm really hoping that the Phillips kids are gonna pipe up in the comments so that we can hear all those amazing stories. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to invite them on later this week, and they can tell those stories on camera. All right, Tony, I'm coming for you, man. We got to know, how are you feeling about Die Hard versus Family Vacation?
Well, Benny and I say Nakatomi Plaza, never forget.
Oh, guys, if you didn't get the Die Hard reference, that is a definite endorsement of Die Hard. Nakatomi Plaza, it's real. It's a great movie. I'm gonna bring you all back up here so you can hear my answer after we check in with the comments. Let's see what people are saying. I think we've got a pretty split. I think that's a good sign of a good this or that when folks in the comments are arguing over this. Wow, everybody is jumping into this one. Okay, Diane, stop with your elf at 100% thing. Like, this not a choice. You're a cutoff, okay? Ken says Die Hard. I love this. Weston Phillips is here. He's saying Tony Phillips hates every ending to all movies. Guys, they're telling your stories in the comments. Oh, Leah with the correction. I stand corrected, guys. Leah, thank you for that. It's not called Family Vacation. It's called Christmas Vacation. Is that true? I thought it was like National Lampoon's. I think it is Christmas Vacation.
It is
Leah,
Christmas Vacation.
Leah, you are getting brought up here on the screen because I boofed on that one. Thank you. I think people they understood what I meant. So luckily my broken English is still good for this. Dirk says Die Hard. Lisa says Family Vacation. Rich says only Vacation. Adam says Die Hard. Man, we got a pretty split here. William, love good action movies. Eric loves it for Cousin Eddie. He's a Family Vacation guy. Family Vacation. Okay, everybody else was on the wrong name thing, so sorry about it, Leah. Family Vacation, Christmas Vacation. Kate coming through. Kathy says yippee-ki-yay. You know, you can finish that for yourself. You guys know how that ends. Die Hard is a family tradition at the Fitzsimmons house. You watch it at least every Christmas. Sean, I got to know which one your favorite is because it's a franchise. And honestly, guys, it's time for me to let you know that is my choice also. I will watch every Die Hard until they stop making them or until Bruce Willis gets replaced. I think it is some of the best Christmas movie material that you could possibly ask for every single year. Okay? Every time. So, I'm going to switch us up now. We're going to go to food. So I hope you're ready for some food. I'm going to pull you guys back off so you have some time to think about this. One of the reasons is because I put my arm through a closed window today. And then shortly before I was ready to host happy hour, I had a pasta sauce bottle or jar sitting on my windowsill next to my speaker. And I was going to play some loud music. And I was trying to grab my speaker. I knocked a glass container all over my floor. So my floor is currently still, because I didn't have time to clean it up, covered in pasta sauce. So I have that to look forward to when I go back inside here in a little bit. So Glass and I haven't gotten along, but that doesn't mean we can't have fun with food. So I am a huge fan of noodles. Just in general in life, I think noodles are some of the best vehicles for all other flavors and spices and sauces and meats. I love nudes. I'm a big, wild fan of noodles. So I need to know, are you Asian noodles or are you Italian noodles? Okay. Asian noodles or Italian noodles? Let's actually put this one up. Asian noodles or Italian noodles? We're all going to take one more swig, whatever we're drinking. Cheers to you guys. I've been drinking noodles like crazy during quarantine. Little tiny cups of Velveeta shells and cheese. Maybe that should have been the third option, this, that, or the other. You could done them. We call them American noodles, which are essentially like Velveeta shells and cheese and Kraft macaroni. So maybe we'll amend this. I'm going to do this, that, or the other. We'll give you three options. Round two, Asian noodles. I'm having to type this. Asian noodles or Italian noodles, and we're going to call them American noodles because Velveeta shells and cheese and Kraft macaroni and cheese are straight American. Okay, maybe I should call them American noodles with the apostrophe. And did I say drinking noodles? Guys, I've been eating noodles. Maybe I've had a little bit of or a lot of this Touriga. You can amend your answer if you already answered if you answered this or that, now that you know there's the other, you can change your answer. If you're a Velveeta shells and cheese or Kraft macaroni and cheese over these other styles of noodles. And there is no D answer this time, okay? So you can stop with that business. I know we used to do that for the wine nerd section. The right answer was always D. In this case, You have to choose, okay? This time I'm going to Tony first. I see a lot of people. I will stand with D. All of you have. Alan says Italian. Judy says Asian's more tasty. Alta says homemade Italian. Anthony says, wait, can we have a this or that or that? Okay, it's this, that, or the other. Tony, I'm coming to you, bro. How are we feeling about the noodles?
My first inclination was ramen tatsuya, but I know that you have a close tie to this one. If you've ever had the cacio e pepe at Emmer and Rye,
oh my gosh,
man, the cacio e pepe at Emmer and Rye is one of the best things I've ever had in my entire life. So I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna technically say that's Italian. Yeah, cacio e pepe.
Okay. Cacio e pepe, it's got an Austin spin on it because the Immer team does it right, but that is for sure Italian noodles. So we got 1 vote for a cacio e pepe style, specifically from Immer and Rye. You guys, Allie was on here on Monday. Let's check in with the Griswold family up in West Texas. Sorry, I mean the Phillips family. Guys, how are we feeling about the noodle situation?
Well, I'm going to say Italian noodles. Our celebration dinner at the Phillips house is lasagna, and so homemade lasagna, Italian lasagna noodles. That's the way to go.
Paired with the William Chris wines, perfect.
I love to hear that. I'm going to assume that this person, Dee Dee Phillips, is related to you, and she is endorsing your cooking. Who is Dee Dee to you guys?
She is our lovely sister-in-law.
My sister-in-law.
One of our biggest fans. Yes.
I love it. Well, she obviously loves your cooking. You can make any noodle taste wonderful. So we've got 2 votes for Italian. I've got a few in here. Ken says, guys, Ken is giving me heck. Ken says you have to be American, D, because your sauce is on the floor. Well, for the record, that sauce was a truffle Alfredo sauce. My house, when I was walking outside, already smelled like truffles. It's not a very big place, guys. My living room and kitchen are essentially the same room. So I'm going to have a truffle-filled evening, and I'm not mad about that. Rich is jumping in here with specific Italian noodles, pappardelle. I'm a huge fan of that. Guys, gosh, there's Kraft mac and cheese is not pasta. Who is this guy? Who is this Chris Robinson trying to come in here and tell me Kraft mac and cheese is not pasta? Chris, I don't know you, but we were specifically talking about noodles. I get maybe. Eric has got the right idea here, drunken noodles. David was on the same page here, Asian drunken noodles. Tina's going off on German noodles. Wow, what is going on, guys?
I do love Spätzle.
Lisa,
Spätzle's really good.
Lisa is trying to get in here with if we're eating them here, aren't they all American noodles? I hear you, Lisa. Not really. Guys, at the end of the day, I've got to agree with those of you out there. While I do love specifically some Dan noodles, I'm a huge fan. When I got to go to Beijing a few years ago, I fell in love with fresh Dan noodles. And then Vietnam also, some stellar noodles from Vietnam. But I'm an Italian 100% all the way. My comfort food growing up was fettuccine Alfredo with chicken. I go to Olive Garden and eat my weight in that and breadsticks. And we can debate whether or not Olive Garden is really Italian, whatever. It's Italian style, guys. And I have never wavered from that. I love Italian noodles. I love ravioli. I love pappardelle. I love spaghetti. I mean, we could sit and list all the noodles. When it's made fresh, there ain't no beating Italian style noodles. So I'm in for Italian. Rich is saying intro. Daryl says I dropped it doing the truffle shuffle. Guys, you're getting clever in the comments. I'm digging this. I didn't waste truffles. Okay, it was truffle sauce. Guys, Sean had a really good point here earlier. I want to bring this back up. I'm scrolling up in the comments, see if I can find it. Sean, don't think I didn't see your comment. Let's see if I can find it. Dadgum. There it is, guys. I'm going to end it with this. I know these maybe weren't as controversial as you might have liked, but Sean said it right. America noodles and Die Hard sounds like a good night. No doubt, guys. I already had some Velveeta shells and cheese for lunch. I did kind of put in my own shredded cheddar as like a little hack. So it got like fake cheese and real cheese together. But This Touriga with some pasta tonight, I am not going to turn that down. I think that's a great way to spend it. Guys, I've got to do these three things. I'm going to pull off our folks because we're going to bring them back on in a sec to thank them and cheers with them. But I got to do these three things. You guys know that we have announcements, as we always do. If you were in student council growing up, you guys remember the announcement song? It was like announcements, announcements, announcements. Every time I hear that, that runs into my head, but I was a student council nerd to the max. Cool. Number one, guys, party this weekend. And by this weekend, I mean in 2 days. On Saturday, we are celebrating our 10th anniversary of being open on the High Estate. We want you to join us on Saturday at 4 p.m. right here, Facebook Live. We're going to celebrate with a lot of cool folks. And we have a 4-pack of wines for that tasting, that virtual tasting, that virtual party that we are throwing. There's a 4-pack of wines. You need to go to the website and order it to pick up. So at this point, it's going to be really difficult for it to get shipped in time. But we want you to go to curbside pickup. You can swing by the winery to get that. Make sure you are doing that between noon and 5. That's when curbside pickup's available at the winery. So go see our folks. They'd be happy to see your face. Obviously, we're making sure everybody is safe while we're doing that. Number 2, you guys know that Anthony loves his Mourvèdre Carignan. We've been talking about his Mourvèdre Carignan Rosé a lot. I love that wine. We're doing a case special. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to pull up, and this is my bad. I forgot to pull up the wine for tomorrow, so that's supposed to be number 3. So let me do that right now, because guys, we need to know what I'm drinking tomorrow so you can drink the same thing. And this is totally my bad. I get these 3 things sent, and apparently I copied and pasted the wrong one. So let me pull up what wine we're drinking tomorrow. And we're Tony. I'm going to pull back up Tony and Madonna, and then Tony the Greek. Let's make sure he's actually coming on. I don't have some technical difficulties here. Tony, come back to us.
I'm here.
Are you guys seeing me? There we are. Okay. Tony and Madonna. I don't know what is going on. There we go. Okay. Sorry about this, guys. I'm experiencing technical difficulties. It's because of the glass that I have shards of glass in my arm and feet from punching through a window, apparently, and dropping a glass jar on my foot. Tomorrow, we are going to be drinking the 2017 Malbec from High Estate. And we're going to be joined by Paul Osborne as our special guest. So I've just thrown that, and I'm going to put that up on the screen as well so you guys can see it. The 2017 Malbec from High Estate tomorrow, and Paul Osborne is going to be joining us to celebrate Friday. I've also got some special guests lined up. We're going to do a special Ask D Anything, Ask Me Anything. And I'm going to bring some folks who know me quite well. I'm not going to give away the complete surprise, but I've reached out to a few of my friends. They're going to join us, and you guys are going to be able to ask my friends some questions about D. But I thought it'd be a fun way to spice up the Ask Me Anything. Meanwhile, there's a bee trying to drink the Touriga, so I'm going to move that bottle right now. And I'm going to turn it over to Tony. Tony, you are cheersing us out today. Who do we want to recognize and thank for our cheers to today?
My cheers is going to be kind of a no-brainer for me, since I was a firefighter for 7 years. So I'm gonna shout out to our first responders and the firefighters all over the country, especially in New York, who are going through it right now and doing their job every single day and not getting rich doing it. So cheers to them.
I love that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Cheers to the firefighters and first responders around the country doing what they can. We loved having you today. Thanks, everybody, for jumping in the comments, for being a part of Happy Hour. We'll be right here, 5 o'clock tomorrow. Invite a friend. It's Friday tomorrow, guys. That means let's blow the roof off this thing. We're going to have a giant party. Thanks again. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.